So breath, and everyone goes, oh, I don't need to know how to breathe. And I totally get it, because I was like that as well. But when you carry a baby, your diaphragm gets crushed. It doesn't move how it's meant to move. You've got this whole thing growing inside you. Maybe you haven't had a baby, but you've been overweight, or maybe you've got an office job and you're just sat down a lot, and you know, it's kind of like this. And we're just not breathing right. And I went to breath training and I thought it was going to be a load of boring stuff. But I learned so much about the breath and the pelvic floor, and how we used to say that the pelvic floor needs to be strong, and now I've learned that it actually needs to be coordinated with the rest of the body. Because if the breath's not right, so you know, if you've got a trainer and they go, oh, breathe, and you're like, okay, yeah, and you exhale, but if you're gripping, or if you're not, the system isn't working properly, then actually you can't have a strong core. And everyone goes on about wanting a flat tummy, so then they start doing the sit-ups and the planks and all that kind of stuff, which is fine. But if the core system and the pelvic floor isn't working with the breath coordinated, then no amount of sit-ups are going to work. Let's talk about hypertonic and hypotonic pelvic floor, which is a too tight pelvic floor and a too loose pelvic floor. And what we need to do first, so I can hear you thinking, well, which one am I? Which one am I? I leak, so that means I've got a loose pelvic floor. Not necessarily. What both of those are a pelvic floor that isn't coordinating with the rest of the body. So how do you get it to coordinate? How does it work? And I want you to just take a big deep breath in for me. Just do a big deep breath in. And I just want you to relax, and then I want you to do it again. And we're either on the inhale or on the exhale, whichever one you normally do, I want you to pull up your pelvic floor. So just, you know, you're in a class situation and the instructor says pelvic floor. What do you do? How do you inhale or exhale and pull up that pelvic floor? I would imagine that most of you go and pull up on the inhale, yeah? And let go on the exhale. And you pull up on the inhale and let go on the exhale. So if that's you and you think, well, yeah, that's what I do, you're doing back to front breathing. Okay, so it's taken me 6 months to actually realise this is what I was doing. So even as a Pilates instructor, and it was actually Pilates that made me do a little bit of back to front breathing because I started to be a gripper. And what that means is, you know, in the Pilates, I'm just going to do it standing up, but you know, in the Pilates, when you're on your back and they say lift a leg, they say pull up your pelvic floor, and you kind of go, and then you lift. Well, that is the reverse breath. That is what you're doing wrong. What you should do in Pilates is actually inhale, let go of the pelvic floor, exhale, connect, and exhale as you lift. But most of us, and every client that I've had since I've realised that I'm a gripper, has also been doing the same. Just to talk a little bit about it, say this is your core, okay? It obviously doesn't look like this, but this is your core. And your diaphragm's at the top and your pelvic floor is at the bottom. So it's sitting here with you. And when we breathe, this should sort of move, our diaphragm should move down, and we should breathe like this. But because of being a gripper and because of wanting to walk around with these flat abdominals that we see all the time, we are walking around with this gripped here, okay? And if it's gripped, it means the diaphragm can't move. That diaphragm can't move down now. And it means that we're putting all the pressure on the pelvic floor. As we lose that muscle mass, the pelvic floor has had all this tension all the time because we're gripping. Yeah? So actually what should happen is we should have a stomach like this. And as we inhale and exhale, it should come in and release. But it's not. It's been like this. So what actually happens when we inhale is we shouldn't bring our pelvic floor up. We should let our pelvic floor drop. Okay? So now try and inhale and let the pelvic floor drop. Try and inhale and let the pelvic floor drop. I've got Natasha filming at the moment and her face is like, What? Do you mean inhale and let the pelvic floor drop?
Because I'm trying, but...
You're trying, aren't you? And your grip.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So this is like, I had this aha moment when I did this breath pelvic floor training. Don't forget I've done all the diastasis and all the Pilates stuff as well. But I was like, I can't do it. So if I can't do it, and I went away, and all the time I was trying to like let go of this pelvic floor. And when I noticed, when I was tense, you know, the kids doing your head in, dogs doing your head in, and I was tense, and I was doing something in the kitchen, my pelvic floor was up to my tonsils. So were my shoulders, and so was the grip. Yeah? And I tried to let go, so I'd let go of the shoulders, I'd let go of the grip here, but I couldn't let go of the grip in my pelvic floor. And I had to think, why can't I let go of the grip in the pelvic floor? Is it because if I let go of the grip I'm frightened I'm going to wee? Is that why I'm gripping? Or is it just something that I've learned to do through Pilates and pulling up and posture and all that kind of stuff? So this is where we're going to bring the breath and the pelvic floor and the core to coordinate with the rest of the body. So one way that I learned to do it was to actually just close my eyes and let go of the grip in my abs and let go of the grip in my pelvic floor. That can take a while to do, yeah? So just let go and let go. Okay, so it's gone now. It's gone. You're not pushing down, letting go. And what I feel when I let go now is almost 3 pieces of my pelvic floor. It's almost like the bit by my clit, the bit by my fanny, and then I feel my bottom kind of like let go a little bit as well. Then I do the breath. So I'm not tight. Also, I haven't changed my posture. So by meaning letting go doesn't mean that I've gone, yeah? It means that I've just let go of the grip, let go of the pelvic floor. Are we there yet? If not, press stop, spend all week trying to do it, and then watch again. So then once I've let go, I place my hands around my rib cage, and it's more around the back than around the front. And then I'm gonna inhale. So I'm gripping already, so I've got to let go again. Okay, right, it's gone, pelvic floor's gone. And I'm gonna inhale. I'm gonna exhale. I'm gonna inhale. I'm gonna exhale. Okay, and I just want you to do that. Just do it while I'm talking. And now let's just focus on what's happening. So when you inhale, it should be a breath that goes all the way around, a 3-dimensional breath, okay? Should go at the front, the side, and a back. So my trainer said it's like somebody shoving a brolly up you and opening the brolly. It should open, yeah? Not shoulders, not chest, not belly. So the chest will rise, the belly will rise, but not the shoulders. But you don't want it to be like this, yeah? Or you're pushing the belly forward, like that. Just let these bits rise and go down, but the focus is around here. You should be doing it without gripping the abdominals and the pelvic floor. Now on the inhale, think about the pelvic floor dropping down, because that's what happens. I keep looking over there because she's like, what?
I'm doing it.
Really? So let the pelvic floor drop as you inhale. Mine's just gone. And as you exhale, pick it up. As you inhale, let it drop. Without altering your posture, Natasha. And as you exhale, bring it up. Okay, it's really hard, and as I say, it took me 6 months to get it. Finally get it. The 2 girls are looking at me as if to go, what? And you're kind of like, why haven't I been told this? Or I grew being able to breathe, yeah? You were born being able to breathe. If I was to get Hugo, my 5-year-old, and I said, take a deep breath in, he wouldn't put his hands here, and he wouldn't think about his pelvic floor. But if I watch his diaphragm, it expands round here. Whereas if I get a 30-year-old woman to do it, particularly if she's had children or she's got poor posture, this happens and they will bring their pelvic floor up. So I've just said when you inhale, your diaphragm expands and lowers slightly, which means your pelvic floor lowers. When you exhale, you are lifting, okay, which is why in Pilates, the leg lifts are done on the exhale, okay, but quite often Pilates has given us that grip as well. So just keep practicing it. Inhale, let go of the grip, and exhale, draw it up. Inhale, let go of the grip, and exhale, draw it up. And if you can't get that coordination going, you should not be doing planks, sit-ups, any sort of Pilates stuff at all. That is the main number one focus that we need to get doing. And I just do it all the time. Whenever I've got a few minutes, I let go. Now the next thing is how you are sitting or how you are standing. So the posture videos are going to help you with where this is, where your rib cage is. But if you try and do this exercise slouching, yeah? So let's do this. Okay, so I'm sat on a desk and I think, oh, Emma's told me to breathe, yeah? So I'm kind of pretend I'm sat down, but you often stand like this. Now I want you to go into this or sit down. Now try and inhale. I can't do it. So slouch, girls. The girls are in the background. Slouch. Now try and inhale. Yeah? Can't do it. You can't, that pelvic floor can't coordinate. And that's where posture comes into it, because if you're trying desperately to flatten your core and get a stronger core, and you aren't doing the exercise in the correct posture, and you're doing the breath that I've just told you, the pelvic floor can't coordinate. The core can only coordinate with the rest of the body and the pelvic floor if you're in correct alignment. So we go on about this again and again and again. So I see people pick up weights at the gym. They pick the weights up, they look like this. So although they think, oh yeah, I'm breathing, it's not a coordinated breath. And most of the time they're breathing with this pelvic floor up here somewhere. So most of my clients have got like an over tight pelvic floor. And if you're inhaling on the lift and you're inhaling and lifting up, then no amount of Kegels are going to work for you. Okay, a Kegel is a pelvic floor contraction, because actually your pelvic floor is hypertonic. It's not working as it should, as the system should. It's not dropping on the inhale and pulling up on the exhale. Yeah, so if you're trying to do pelvic floor exercises with a grip, so I'm gripped now, they're not working as they should. I should be able to let go of the pelvic floor, let go of the core. Let go pelvic floor, go, 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 go. Right, okay, here, there we are. Then I can do a Kegel. Okay, so you'll get some Kegel exercises as well. So are you a gripper or are you a let goer? If you're a let goer and you're thinking, well, I just stand like that all day with everything let go, I don't know where my core control is or where my pelvic floor is, and when I inhale I can feel it come down, then you're not a gripper. So then the Kegels will work for you, but they'll only work for you if you're in correct alignment. So all I want you to go and do is practice the breath. Inhale, spread the rib cage, let the pelvic floor drop. Exhale, bring it up, let the pelvic floor come back in again without altering that spine position. It should all be done, you're not letting go and drawing in like this. It should all be done in your neutral posture. And the key to begin with, before you even start, right, I've got to inhale, let go, exhale, draw up, is to let go first. Drop, drop, then start it. So often breath training comes into a lot of sort of meditation work and that kind of thing. So, and I hear a lot of, I see a lot of people go on meditate and breathe, and I see them go, Yeah, so it's a good way to practice your breath. If you do any yoga classes where they do a bit of meditation at the beginning or the end, it's a really good idea to practice that breath then. I also practice my breath standing, sitting and lying down. If you're lying down in bed with one of those apps, I can only think of the Headspace app at the moment. I haven't got that one, I've got another one. And I put it on next to me. If I'm sat up with a load of pillows behind me and I'm sat up in bed, I can't practice my pelvic floor coordination breath then because my rib cage is down and I'm not in correct alignment. The same if I'm totally flat and my rib cage is flaring. So you need to be in good alignment, almost flat with rib cage and hips over each other before you then start the breath if you're doing it laying down. So it's quite mind-boggling, isn't it, breath? There's a lot to it.